Yo, what up, team? Welcome back to J3 Entertainment. We're about to get that true reaction experience.
That's right, y'all. It's fight night. What we got for him, bro?
Death battle. Simone the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Pay-per-view. Fight.
All right, no.
Okay, let's ride.
All right, very unique battle. Unfortunately, I don't know much about Simone.
Okay, I'm in the same boat.
But I know a lot about Kyle Rayner.
Bet.
My money's on Kyle Rayner.
Education.
What about you?
Yeah, my money's on DC, man.
All right.
I don't know about the other
Yeah,
guy.
my money's on DC too. I don't know nothing about Simone the Digger.
Okay, so. All right. We're uneducated. We don't know. We
Yeah,
don't know.
Content.
We don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's what that battle's here for. You know, teach us a little something. You know what I'm saying? Give us a little incitement.
Yep, facts,
You know,
facts.
intellectual. Break it down. You know.
Yup.
I'm the RZA off of Wu-Tang Saga.
Okay.
You know, because we're family. You know what I'm saying? And then we come together. The Wu, powerful, strong.
Yeah, he got super robotic. He was very robotic.
Why you talking like that, bro?
That was spot on. That was spot
on. Oh my God, bro.
Okay, I thought you was going DMX till you changed.
No. Ashton Sanders.
Yeah, man. Yeah. You know, because
he went robotic.
That's when we talk like that. You know, that's. Woo. Together, family, peace, the RZA here, Jizza, old dirty bastard, you know, Method Man, Inspector Deck.
Oh man, I can't believe you talking like that,
bro.
That's what he did.
The whole series,
I
bro.
know.
The whole series.
Like, nobody told
with a bad wig. Oh my God. Anyway, death battle. Y'all ready to react?
Let's get it, bro.
All right, y'all. We're gonna start this thing right now.
Simone the Digger, Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern. Two
now
men
why gotta
born
be
of Earth
white,
with
my
the
brother?
Power to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick, and it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Time to be educated.
Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave. That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last, Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess. Simone was a digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill. A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagann. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark. But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the earth for humanity.
Wow.
Scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren. And
Okay.
as befits Kamina and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagann merged, creating Gurren Lagann. With Kamina piloting the body and Simone the head, these two were unstoppable. Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower and capable of making any weapon they can imagine, including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course, drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield drills, kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up? With Gurren Lagann's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome. Until Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed to happen? Nope, and it was all Simone's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price.
Damn.
After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit. So his big bro left him with these final words. Have faith in the Simone who believes in you. Damn. Kamina was the one looking up to him the whole time. It was Simone who found Lagann, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass.
Damn.
But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the spiral nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simone would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming.
Okay.
Simone can create portals to different realities and higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light. Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the guidebook says they hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
But it wasn't enough to escape the anti-spiral's greatest trap, the multiverse labyrinth. An attack that imprisons Simone in his own unique multiverse, forced to experience an infinite number of alternate realities that controlled his mind, permanently arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different, and after being inspired by his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions is basically infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a 2-dimensional drawing interacting with a 3-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simone absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simone who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simone real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy.
It wasn't already?
Like shooting missiles that alter probabilities so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simone's power was so immense that he started generating super spiral space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simone turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive Quantum Breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one more time.
Into Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
Lagann! This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all. Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit! Proving Kamina's words prophetic, that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens. With no more worlds left to conquer, Simone chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others. Always looking up, for all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free. All thanks to a humble digger.
That's tight, bro. I gotta watch this.
Yep.
The universe is a dangerous place. Should you find yourself face to face with an interdimensional vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat, you know who to call. The Green Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods. And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan. You know him, you love him, you might hate him, but you gotta respect a man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's. Until the day his will broke. After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path, and absorbed the central power battery, the literal Green Lantern, becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax. There was only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree, Ganthet. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner. So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was? He was just there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient box can master it, what's your excuse, Kyle? The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp. It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence. Think we're exaggerating? Well, consider the time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year. Lanterns control time and space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity. Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger. Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the Crisis on Infinite Earths. The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination. While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched, probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit. But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality. Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar. Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity. Damn. Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang.
Yep.
Wait, 0.3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. The ring's only downside is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge. So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility. Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge. Kyle wasn't the only one traumatized. This moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging. For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development. So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again. Kyle finally got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever. But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun. In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy. It's a long story. He had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope and allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the sapphire light of love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their minds. But Kyle only mastered it by forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment of all life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Source and acquired the Life Equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the Life Equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The Life Equation, like its counterpart, the Anti-Life Equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion.
Damn.
Kyle's greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the Life Equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Okay.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That was
Yeah.
That was a
Unlocked.
treat. That was a treat, y'all. What do you think?
I'm about to switch sides.
You switching sides?
Yeah, Simone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because.
Due to the information that was given,
Okay.
I think Simone might have a chance.
No, shoot. You know, I'm kind of feeling that too, man. What
Me
about
too.
you?
I'm feeling it, but there's something bugging me, and
We'll go ahead and preach on, brother.
because they said he absorbed multiverses, right? Simone. How would that come across with the life equation how do you combat the life equation that Kyle Rayner has? But yeah, based off visually, yeah, right now I'm sticking with Kyle Rayner. Something's telling me to stick with him. I could be wrong, but
Okay. I think I'm going Simone. Simone. I think I'm going Simone because he learned to control everything.
true.
Kyle Rayner, he had to separate the power
Yeah.
and give out rings.
It was
so he
it
could
was
get
too
control.
powerful for
It was a
him.
distance.
He doubted
barrier.
himself. Simone figured it out before him, and he embraced it. So I'm going Simone. All right, y'all. Bets are in.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, y'all. We're gonna start
time.
this thing right now.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Knock that shit off.
Hey, dude. Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's
He's spinning
mine,
the glasses,
officer.
bro.
Just who the hell do you think you are?
Shit, I'm a cop, dude.
He just turning the ball wrong.
That's what I thought it was, right?
I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. 4.
That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens! Take it to Gurren Lagann! That's really cool. I'm a lantern.
We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
Right.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
Wait.
I'm Simone the Digger. If there's a wall in my way, I'll smash it down.
stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Number 1.
He just empowered him.
Yeah.
My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens. Giga Drill Break!
This is dope.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
Shattered dimension.
There it is.
Oh,
Let's see you grit those teeth.
He brought it back.
Damn.
Yep, he brought it back.
You'd make a good lantern.
A little stronger.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Damn.
Do you think I...
That was
Cold-blooded.
hard, bro. Unity.
He literally
Oh,
switched sides
man.
too.
Both
The
combatants
ring.
possess
Get outta here.
unlimited power. It's hard to judge them.
They
by
did say
normal standards.
Hal had the better will.
Speed.
Yeah.
Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you
Yeah,
control
he did it
space
multiple
and
times.
time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's analyze them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless
Kyle
things
Rayner.
they could conjure to use
better
against
with
the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main factor for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle, especially since spiral power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge, especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life
That's what
equation.
I'm
It
waiting
originated
for.
from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself, writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Yeah, man.
Next time on Death Battle.
Book 'em.
Wally Coyote,
Oh, snap.
Tom and Jerry. I'm down.
Subscribe and join as a member to
Wally
see
versus
more
Tom the
Death
Cat.
Battle.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Oh man.
A lot of absorbing.
Yeah,
just
it was
pulling
a
from
lot.
the dimension, but also pulling from the willpower too. So everything was just basically merging.
Yeah. So the only thing I had was the
That's
life.
insane.
Only thing I had was the life equation. I wasn't sure how Simone would deal with that. That's why I stuck with Kyle Rayner. But like based on the breakdown, like I said earlier, that character was broken. Dog.
Oh yeah. He broke his ring and then he ran to another person. That was tight, bro. Good.
Yeah, they basically were saying. So I like how they were basically saying Simone was using like the science and time and merging everything and kind of becoming one, almost like a Tron situation, like just with my surroundings, but using the environment, but also using time as well.
Oh, I thought he Jet Li the one himself because
Because they were saying like every multi-dimension to get stronger, and it just combines.
he absorbed every other dimension, and all of them had a version
And
of
had
himself.
willpower to make himself constantly stronger within the fight.
Yeah. So he absorbed different versions of himself, and then he absorbed one who had another version of Gurren Lagann.
That is the one.
So he is the one.
Yeah. I am
shows
nobody's
him,
bitch. You are mine.
Number one.
Yeah.
No, that was fire, bro.
There will only be one.
I gotta watch the show now. I have it. Shout out to my boy Cecil. He sent it to me years ago, and I just never, dived into it.
I've had it on my list, and I've never.
Hey, this might be something we were talking about. What animes we want to react to in dub. So
English.
It's gonna be dub. It's gonna be dub. But I want to
language barrier.
You know what I'm saying? So I think this might be a new contender. You know what I'm saying?
New challenger, man.
You know what I mean? I'm man, great. And then Wile E. Coyote versus Tom the Cat.
I'm excited for that. Mm-hmm. And we are doing cartoons. That's great. That's gonna be great.
Got that Saturday morning.
That's
Saturday
education
morning.
right there. Like, hey, we saw a death battle. We about to get into this best of. Like, that's pretty great.
Just as a throw it out there. We both know both candidates. Wile E. Coyote versus Tom the Cat. Who you think gonna win?
Hey, Wile E kind of reckless though.
He is.
Real talk.
Plus, he always chopping on cheap ass.
Tom is clumsy. Clumsy can kind of get you the upper hand, but Wile E is like, you don't know what he gonna do.
Yeah, but his inventions never work, or maybe they never work because the bird too fast. But it always.
We talking about death battle though. Like, so it's not death invention. We talking about death battle.
I know.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say Wile E is way more durable.
Yeah.
And smarter than Tom.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with that. I mean,
there we go.
Things that he's been through.
That fool falling off cliffs and junk and blowing up. And,
right.
Like, Jerry do stuff, which I do, but I don't think it's as severe as Wile E. Coyote.
It's not.
He can still find a way out of it.
Yeah.
It's just, he's clumsy, but he bounces back from it.
Jerry gives Tom a run, but Jerry ain't trying to end him.
Right. Yeah.
Wile E. Coyote don't even get the drop on the Roadrunner.
Nah.
But at the same time, he gets the drop on himself. Roadrunner's too fast. Like he'll have a rocket on him.
Meet me.
Oh, man.
And he has better gadgets.
Oh, that's a fact.
Than Tom got. Tom ain't got no gadgets like that, bro.
He don't.
That Coyote gonna be
he's just a runner, straight runner.
Because that Coyote gonna look at him. Oh, you ain't got super speed. You
and
done.
And they both got the tune power.
They both got the tune force, but the way that Wile E. Coyote is set up and the way all the things he's been through, I think Team Force leans more favorably on him. So
I think Wile E. Coyote might beat Tom the Cat, bro.
Yeah,
and he's a coyote. Can I just stress that?
And Tom is a house cat.
Yeah, bro. I'm eating that food, bro. And remember, on Family Guy, Wile E. Coyote got the Roadrunner. He caught him.
Yeah.
He caught him, ate him, fulfilled his destiny, got depressed.
There's nothing else to do.
And then he went and he found Jesus Christ. Remember that? Yeah, pamphlets and everything, bro. It's like, that's what happened. That's what happened, bro. So I'm gonna give
anything's possible, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna give it to Wile E. Coyote. I want to know what y'all gonna give it to, man. But guess what? It's not about us.
It's about y'all.
Post your comments down below. And who did you have winning? Seaman.
On the next step of spiritual death battle. Oh, yo.
Oh my God, bro.
It's not just me.
Yes. All right, who you got winning, man?
2 for 2, baby.
Hey, bro. It's not Simon.
It's Simone.
It's Simone.
Yeah.
Simone, like Raven Simone.
Yeah.
You got Simone.
Oh jeez.
You got Simone or Kyle. Who do you guys choose? And don't go on it because you saw the ending of it. Who do you guys pick? I want to know. And who you got winning? Wile E. Coyote or Tom the Cat?
Hey.
Top Cat. Now you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So who you got winning? I want to know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, go to press that subscribe button. Thumbs up this video. Don't forget to share. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Patreon. We have uncut, full-length reactions and exclusive content.
Stop wasting time. Y'all know what to do.
Yeah, man. Press the button.
Join IT Tech. Also, if you want to show this channel some love, go ahead and join us on our membership in the section down below.
Sign up now.
Yeah, man. It's only $5. Do it.
I'm J3.
Run a Shogun. And just ask.
It's your boy C.
Road to 100,000 subscribers.